Now, here's something a little bit trickier. Say I want something else besides this harness that I have right here. Just erasing it. I want some other different part. Select everything. I'm going to go back later too. Here's a little trick that I came up with. Let's say I want to give him this kind of infantry pack that I had with my original UK unit. Okay. What I do is I create a pyramid. Why a pyramid? Because there are no other pyramids in any of my files. Or heck, I'll just use this. There are no pyramids in any of my files. And so they're easily selectable. What I do is I grab the harness I want to use and I link it to the pyramid. So now the pyramid is the parent object of this harness right here that I used for some of my World War II models. It's very important because now I copy this. Well, I put the pyramid at about 30 altitude, 0 for the other values of X and Y. I copy the pyramid. Copy the pyramid. Erase all the old harnesses. Deleted the color as well. I paste the new pyramid into that and link it to the main body. Now, that harness doesn't quite work with this body type, but it's good enough for purposes now. Okay. There's something else important. Okay. I've linked the pyramid is easily selectable. I've linked the pyramid to this body type. Now for everything else, I copy it from this vantage point rather than the parts list. I copy it from this file first. What I do is I copy it from here, and then I load up the next animation, like the fidget. So I don't want all this stuff. Copy it, link it to the main body, make sure I remove all the previous keyframes. It still moves with the body the way that I want it to. I save the file, then I go on to the next one, which is the fortify animation. Okay, I take the timeline, I move it back to 0, erase the old stuff, paste in the new stuff, link it to the main body, and advance it to the very end of the animation. And now, it has, as you can see, the harness has moved to the new end point of the animation. What I do now is, I select the pyramid again, probably barely see it, but it's right there in the middle of his body. I select the pyramid again, and now I copy it again. Control C, save this file, of course. Next animation is the attack. I want to save this there. Next animation is the attack. I erase the old harness, and I paste in the new one. See how, since I copied it from the end of the timeline of the old file, get rid of the old key points, it automatically pastes it into the correct orientation on the new attack file, because that's where the fortify ends off at. I've already linked it to the guy's torso, and it looks like there's a mistake. It's not rotating with it, which is a good example of what you can do next. Select the attributes, go to linking, and make sure all 4 of these little boxes are selected. Distance, offset, rotation, and size. Okay, erase all the damn keyframes again. Now, it rotates with the torso. Okay, do it again for the death animation, and so on and so forth. Select my old pyramid, delete that thing, paste the new file in, link it to the main body. Remember, this little third from the top looks like a little chain. Link it, and when the object turns blue, that means you know that that's what it's targeted as. Do the attributes again. Oh, it didn't link the rotating size as well, but now it has. Press play, and the harness moves along with the body and the torso. Now, here comes the trickiest part of the whole thing. Save this, and I want you to erase everything. Erase the arms, erase the head, select the torso, and unlink it from the rest of the main body. Delete all things you don't want, because at the moment the torso was connected to this part. The actual hips. I don't want it to be connected anymore. I erase all the keyframes. What I do now is I copy the torso and I load up the run animation. Save. Erase the old harvest. Okay, here's a tricky part. Okay, at the moment I have this invisible torso moving along with it's an invisible part that's very integral to the run animation. But right now, I've made it red to highlight it for you, to show you what it looks like. You don't want this part to be visible, so I've made a special invisible texture that I always use to make it, boom, disappear. It's still there, but it's very important for the animation because it moves. And right now, this torso, which is called OF_jacket_3 for some reason, is linked to this main torso, shirt 3. What I want you to do is, I want you to select the torso that is visible, go up here to copy matrix. What that does is, instead of copying the object, it copies all of its information, its size, its location, its rotation, etc. Paste in the torso from the previous animation. Okay, you can see the pyramid in there is still linked to the torso along with all the other little objects and tidbits. Pasted it in. I want you to paste the matrix. It is now in the same position as the other torso, but you don't want it here. Just too many objects in the way. What I always do is I always move everything out of the way by 10 units in the Y direction. Just move it up. Let's say just move it to 52. Now it moves up here. Okay. Select the pyramid again. It's in the center of the torso. It's linked. All this harness stuff is linked to the pyramid. Just want to undo that. You can move it down to here. Link it to the torso. Make sure everything's right. Remove this. It is no longer linked to this torso up here, so now you can erase it. And now, GL, press play, and the new harness is linked to the old torso, and you can see it move with the run animation. Now, a similar thing can be done when you're trying to copy boots over. I'll explain that later.